If you ever receive a message like this on your phone or computer, most of the time you'll just close the window or reboot your computer in the hope that the message goes away. Or you've received an automated voicemail claiming from Microsoft support or from your bank.
Critical alert from Microsoft. Your computer has alerted us that it is infected with a virus and spyware. This virus is sending your credit card details, Facebook login, and personal emails to hackers remotely. Please call us immediately at the toll-free number listed so that our support engineers can walk you through the removal process over the phone.
Or you've received an email from an African prince wanting to ship his gold over to you. You may think, do people actually fall for this kind of scam? Well, unfortunately, people do fall for these scams, and they may ring the number that's displayed on their screen, or they'll reply to the automated voicemail that's been left to them, or that email that's been sent out to them. Sometimes these scams cost people thousands and thousands of pounds of their hard-earned money. What's disgraceful and immoral about this scam is the target that the scammers prey on. They prey on the vulnerable, the elderly, or lonely people who aren't very technically minded when it comes to computers, or in recent times struggling with mental health issues due to the pandemic. Scammers use this to exploit their victims. Let's go ahead and break down how these kind of scams work. A lot of scammers contact their victims from many locations around the world, but primarily from Indian call centres in locations such as Kolkata, and they use multiple methods to contact their victims, such as autonomous dialing, which is a piece of software that hosts many phone numbers from victims around the world. It will keep phoning until someone answers. If someone doesn't answer, it will leave a voicemail asking them to contact the number provided. The phone number is usually spoofed as well, so it may look like if you're in the UK, it's coming from a UK number such as +44 01 02 07 or 08. This depends on the geographical location that the scammers are scamming that day. There's a whole host of scams that these people run, such as technical support scams, customer service scams, e-commerce scams, banking scams, debt collection scams, and most recently a COVID-19 scam. Within them topics are subtopics, so you've got Sky, BT and Virgin Media for customer service scams. You've got Amazon, eBay and PayPal for the e-commerce scams, Inland Revenue or High Court scams for the debt collection. The list goes on and on and on. I can't possibly fit into one video all the scams that these people do, but in this video I'm going to primarily focus on two scams: the Windows technical support scam and the refund scams. Like I said before, these call centres have software configured to dial hundreds of numbers a day in the hope that someone answers. If someone does answer, an autonomous voice may play saying that there is an attacker or a scammer, ironically, on that person's Windows account. So please dial this toll-free number to be connected to a certified Microsoft technician. So where do these scammers get your telephone number from? Well, telephone directories. If you've signed up to something in the past or got a quote for your car insurance, for instance, you may have agreed to have your number shared to third parties, or your phone number just isn't X directory and is readily available on the BT phone book. So if I go to BT's online phone book and find a person, and in the search I'll just type in Adams, very popular name in the UK, and in the location of London I can see a list here of names in the phone book with the surname of Adams. It's giving me full address, postcode and the phone number of that person within that search. At a scam call centre, the operation managers are in the background actively saving all these different phone numbers to their software database, which will start dialing these phone numbers. So this sort of information gives the scammer leverage on a phone call, especially if the victim starts questioning the phone call made to them. So the victim may say, "Why are you phoning me and how can you prove that I'm a customer of yours?" Well, on the screen the scammer's got all the information they may need: first name, second name and the address, postcode and the phone number.
I'm talking to Miss...
Yes, but what's her first name?
It's a Monica, or it's a Gloria. Monica, right?
Can I tell her, give her the message?
And who is Gloria?
I'm her mother.
Okay, you are Miss Gloria, and your daughter is Monica, right?
It's Monica.
Okay, so you are Gloria, and you are from, right, ma'am?
Yes.
Once their sort of suspicion's been cleared, because they've proved who they are, the victim will most likely proceed with the phone call. So what if the victim contacts the call centre because they've had a virus pop up on their machine saying to call a toll-free number because their computer is infected with viruses and they're going to be connected to a certified technician? While scammers purchase advertising space on websites, they use the human error to catch their victims. So now if I go to Twitter and mistype it with 2 R's instead of 1 R, which is easily done if you're a fast typer, it's taken me to a non-secure website, redirect me to a web page that isn't McAfee Total Protection, but it's displaying McAfee Total Protection. Once again, scammers can purchase advertising space on this domain and show their pop-up once you land on the page. What makes this quite effective is when the pop-up displays, it can have an audible alert as well, which could scare the victim, as well as having flashing images on the screen to draw their attention in. So let's find someone with the surname of Keenan, which is a recurring theme in all my videos, and I type in Oxfordshire as a location. Here I found a G Keenan. This name, along with all the others, can be added to the phone call database that the scammer is hosting. So the victim's on the phone, and the scammer's usually posing with an English sounding name, Tom Jones, Dick Turpin, Harry Enfield, whatever. And they're calling from Windows in the UK from a UK location, which they can easily quickly do a Google on. Once again, this is just to try and gain the trust of the victim.
Thank you for calling Microsoft. My name is Bill Stewart.
Receive says Roy Miller. That's my extension employment ID number.
Answer, remember my name. My name is Alex Watson, okay?
The scammer's then going to want access that victim's computer to show them the problems they've got and fix them problems as well, obviously at a charge, which we'll come to later on. They've got a script that they follow and explains in very simple terms how to install remote software on their computer. So the scammer will usually say, please look down to your keyboard. Between the CTL and the ALT buttons, there's a Windows button. Please press that and type in run. So I'll do that on here, on the victim machine. Type in www. and the name of the remote software, TeamViewer, Go to Assist or AnyDesk. In this instance, we're going to do anydesk.com. Once the victim's on the website, the scammer then tells them to click the download button and explain it very clear. Click the big green button on the website to download the software. The scammer then asks the victim for the remote desktop access number on AnyDesk. In this instance, it's on the top left of the screen. Once the scammer's got access to the victim machine, they've got full admin access. So on AnyDesk in this instance, he may say to the victim that could they ensure that in the window, there's 4 blue boxes highlighted on the top and on the bottom. The bottom right one enables privacy mode, which the scammer uses as a tool later on in the attack. The scammer will then do basic Windows commands, which will scare the victim into thinking they've got a virus. Some of the basic functions that the scammers use to trick the victims is using the Windows Event Viewer. The Event Viewer is where the event logs can be viewed in relation to an application stored on the machine. Because the Event Viewer will display error logs and warning indicators, which in fact cause no harm to a PC, scammers use this as a way to trick the victims into thinking they've got a problem in their machine. So in the Event Viewer, you'll see critical, error and warning messages. Next, they'll go into the command prompt and use netstat. Netstat is what displays the network connections to the computer for the Transmission Control Protocol, or TCP. When it is typed in, a column displays foreign addresses. This shows the remote computers that the port or the computer's IP is connected to. But once again, the scammer will use this to say that the foreign addresses are an attacker's IP and they've established connection to their machine. So finally, they'll say they're performing a scan of the computer for any viruses. The scammer will go back to their own machine, copy a line of text and paste it at the bottom. Staying on the command prompt, they type in tree, which is just mapping out all the files and documents on the computer. So in this instance, paste at the bottom 30 Windows viruses found, contact Microsoft support, time to disk failure 30 minutes. So now the scammer has done all this, they'll want to provide a cleanup service to the victim to remove all the viruses and malware that have been found at a cost, of course. This is where the scam can take a turn. The scammer will usually now type out in a notepad document the service they can provide and how much it will cost. So we can type in virus removal, McAfee virus total, £30, firewall update, £45, PC accelerator, £10, disk cleanup and restore, £80, then add in the total, or open up the calculator most likely to show the victim that they're not adding any more numbers. Then they'll say that there is a subscription or a yearly renewal at about £300 roughly, and then the way that they can take payment, so usually via Western Union, the option of gift cards, or they can send cash via a courier. If the victim agrees to this, the scammer will usually blacken the victim's screen. So if I go to any desk and their privacy mode, go to the victim machine, this is what the victim sees on their computer. So going back to the attacker's machine, they'll say to the victim that they're connected to the secure server. This is why their screen is black. They'll say that they're cleaning up their machine and installing antivirus software. While the screen is black, they'll usually rummage around the computer, looking for all sorts of information and documents, and even going as far as turning on the victim's webcam, seeing what they look like, taking pictures for their own personal gain. On this particular computer, while the screen's black, go onto their documents. I can see a document called credit card text, go in there. Nationwide, got the PIN number in there, account number, sort code, CVV number. Close that. I can see one called email and password. See a password, Gareth Keenan at iCloud.com, password, Gareth Keenan Investigates. I can transfer that over to my computer as well. And then finally, I can go into the pictures and see what pictures the victim's got as well. So I'll go into pictures. See there's a few pictures here. Got one of the victim himself. Close that, and I can see here that there's a thumbnail image of a credit card. Again, some people do this to remind them of their credit card numbers without having the need to write them down. So I could transfer this over and use that for my own personal gain. So once they've stolen documents, they then go ahead and they can set up unattended access to the victim machine, so they can come and go when they please. They can load other malware and ridiculous software which is of no use to the computer, which will in fact probably slow the computer down, and there's no benefit to the victim. Before they finish, they'll unblacken the screen, clear all the windows that they've opened, but they'll keep the keyboard locked, so they're technically holding the victim's computer at ransom should they say they're not paying now. If the scammer is stopped in his tracks and the victim isn't falling for the scam, things can turn quite nasty. The scammer will start hurling abuse at the victim, and if they're a female victim, can start throwing sexual insults at them.
Refund form. You need to fill that form from. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Do you like sucking dick?
Mother fucker. And after that, you get.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly?
Sir,
Are you there?
yes, I'm here.
You listen, you goddamn Filipino motherfucker.
Fuck you. Fuck you, motherfucker. How do you know that, sir? No, sir, not at all. You are just piece of shit. How may I help you today?
I'm gonna find you one day, dipshit. You're around. That?
Okay, motherfucker.
I'm gonna find you.
You think I'm a fucking idiot, you asshole?
Fuck you, bloody motherfucker, you son of a whore. तेरा बहन का बोला मैं।
Another scam I'd like to show is the refund scam. It works very similar to a technical support scam, except the scammer will socially engineer the victim to access the online banking so they can receive a refund back from the service they're saying they're from. The victim may receive an email or a call from someone claiming to be from Amazon refund department, for example, saying that there's been unusual activity on their account and they're eligible for a refund. They'll say to the victim, for example, did you purchase an item for £100? The victim will most likely say no, and they'll say, sorry, our mistake, we'll refund you the money. The scammer will then begin to socially engineer the victim to gain access to the computer and then get onto their online banking account. The victim may be panicking that there might be unusual activity in her account, but the scammer's got a script that he sticks to keep the victim calm and not arouse any suspicion with the scammer. Once again, when connected to the victim's computer, ask them to access the online banking. Once the victim's decided which account to send it to, the scammer's going to blacken the screen and say they're now connected to the secure server and that they can't see what's on their screen. This scam is aimed at people who aren't very technical with computers. If the online banking portal's got multi-factor authentication enabled, the scammer will say to the victim that they're sending them a code and they have to give them that code so they can access the bank account. The multi-factor authentication is done automatically from the bank, not from the person on the end of the phone. So the victim proceeds to log in and the scammer may ask which account they want the money transferred into. Once the victim makes a decision, the scammer will then go ahead and blacken the screen and say they're now connected to the secure online banking portal. The first thing the scammer will try is transfer all the money out of the victim's account straight into theirs, but because of the security standards set today with online banking, this is quite unheard of now. So the scammer will edit the online banking page and make it look like the victim has transferred too much money into their account. In this example, the victim wants to have the refund transferred into their savings account. Scammer will then say, okay, I'm going to blacken the screen for security reasons, so you're now connected to our secure portal. Once the screen is black, the scammer is just going to inspect the element on this page, find the text and type in a different number on there. So in this example, I'm going to type in 1 in front of the 5, so it looks like it's 1,506 in the account. So then open the notepad document, ask the victim to type in 100. The scammer will then unblacken the screen to reveal that there's more in the account. So instead of there being 606, there's now 1,506. They'll make a big point and say the victim made the mistake, they've stolen £1,000 Amazon's money and they now want the money back. At this point, the scammer may lock the keyboard so the victim can't interact with the screen. The reason for this, because as soon as you go to refresh the screen, it's going to reset the amount that's in the account and show the true amounts of 506. From here, the scammer may tell the victim that they must pay Amazon back in the form of gift cards, otherwise legal action will be sought, such as prison, etc, etc. They will insist the victim goes to the bank and withdraws all their money, or most likely they'll tell them to go to different shops, purchase multiple gift cards, which is totaling to the amount that they require to have back. They'll say to the victim they must stay on the phone, otherwise legal action will be sought. They'll be done for theft, for instance, and they must not tell anyone about this because it's their fault. The victim can't tell anyone who's on the end of the phone or tell them what the purchases are for, because the scammer has told the victim that it's their fault that they've stolen Amazon's money. The scammer doesn't care how they get their money. They're even considerate enough to find the location near to the victim of where there are places they can purchase gift cards from. So I go to Google and type in, so I say shops near me. I can see that there is a load of shops around me. So you've got Margate Superstore, for instance, and they'll even give directions to how the victim gets to the shop. But again, they must stay on the phone the whole time. While the victim's away from their computer, the scammer has access still, most likely. So they'll do what I've done before. They'll go through all the documents. They'll take all their personal details if there are any, enable the webcam just to make sure that no one's actually at home while they're stealing all the documents. Once gift cards are purchased, the victim will provide the scammer with the gift card number and the PIN code that's on it. The scammer takes that and purchases items to resell it for a higher profit. Gift cards have no name attached to them, so they're almost untraceable once purchased. So this is a perfect form of money theft.
Sir, I can tell you, sir, what you have to do to refund my money back to me, alright? Let me have a speak with my manager, okay, sir? Let me have a word with them. I have a word with my manager, sir. And they said there is some financial institution where you can send our money back to us, alright? So do you know any Apple store near from your place? You don't know? Okay, let me find Apple store for you, sir. Hold on for 1 minute. Can you see, sir? There is a place called Simply Mac. Do you know this place? You need to go Simply Mac and Mac store and ask for Apple gift card, alright? Yes, so you need to go there and you have to purchase the Apple gift card, sir. So through that gift card, I can get my money back to me, sir. As you're a very honest person, so that's why you told me that you received the higher amount from our end. So, sir, will you please refund me my money through that way, sir? All right. So what you have to do, sir, you need to go to the Apple, Simply Mac, all right? And simply you have to purchase Apple gift card, okay? Like you have to purchase 2 Apple gift card for 2,000 and 1 Apple gift card for 1,000. All right, for 2,000 and 1 card for 1,000. Yes, so you have to go right now to reach there 45 minutes. All right, so are you ready to go? I have to put your shoes on. All right, first of all, tell me, sir, this is your landline
Scammers
number,
are
this is your
ruthless
cell phone
and
number?
despicable people and will go to great lengths to exploit the money from their victims. Some even turn nasty, threatening the victims' families or mocking them for any health issues or battles that they're going through. So do not give them the chance to make you a victim. These people do not care if leaving you without your money will entail you losing your job, your home, or even your family. How can you protect yourself? Well, it's very simple. If you receive the pop-up, just turn off your computer. These are fabricated pop-ups, they're not a real virus. Leave your computer for a few minutes. Once you restart it, it'll be gone. If you receive a phone call from a number you don't know, just hang up. Google the phone number. There's plenty of websites out there which will tell you if the phone number is a scam. I'll leave the websites in the description of this video. If you do answer the call and it is convincing, but however you do have still a bit of suspicion, hang up the phone call and call them back with the official number stated on that website that they're saying they're calling you from. Finally, make your phone number X directory. In the UK, you can go to BT's website and do this. I'll leave the link in the description of the video. If you receive an email, don't click the link or download the attachment, just ignore it. Email platforms are pretty good now at detecting spam emails and will put the email straight into your spam folder. If you are unsure, however, just contact the platform directly. So if it was Amazon, for instance, just contact Amazon customer support and they'll help you there. Scammers are getting clever with their tactics, even to the point of spoofing phone numbers so it comes up on your phone as Amazon or NatWest, for example. There's been a lot of delivery scams going on recently. Text messages have been received saying they're from Royal Mail or DHL, for example, saying there's an outstanding postage fee on the package that they're sending. If they don't pay it, the package is going to get sent back and they'll lose their money. The best thing you can do to a scammer is say you don't have any internet or you don't have a computer. If they ask you for any banking details, say you haven't got a bank account, you'll be amazed how quick they'll hang up the phone on you. This type of attack is hard to believe. You might be watching this thinking, does anyone really fall for this? Unfortunately, they do. Thankfully, there are people out there who are helping tackle these type of scams and closing down the call centres. These people are called Scambaiters. You can see their amazing work on YouTube, people such as Jim Browning, Kit Boga, Scammer Revolts and Scambaiter. You'll be amazed at the work they're doing to help stop this despicable and shameful type of exploitation.